Hello, hi everyone, hi America. How's it going? Today is April 5th, 2023. My name is Michael Tomlinson. I am an American Jeer. Yeehaw. Um, it looks like I haven't been outside today. It's still in the morning, but I will have to step out later. But right now it looks beautiful, and the wind is not blowing heavy, so there might be a slight breeze today or this morning, but it wasn't like yesterday. It was just crazy blowing wind, and it was cold. Cold air too. Uh, but it looks like today is going to be different. Can always be optimistic, and but for the most part, whenever I do go out there, I'm always thankful. I look up to the sky, and I always in awesome awe, like in awe, that we're just this planet zooming around a sun and spinning around, and we're just so fragile. That's what blows my mind. It's just like, wow, we are just, we are glowing blue in a very darkened kind of universe. So we stand out. You can see it. You can see like this blue, from space, and everything else is just kind of darkened up. Have you noticed that? It just looks so vibrant and full of life. So I'm surprised we haven't found another planet Earth out there. Out of all the telescopes we've sent out to other galaxies, and they're sending back images, and there are things that are close and maybe have some potential to survive on that's close to Earth, but nothing like Earth, nothing like our planet, and it's just shocking to me that we haven't found one yet. Because I don't know, it makes me think: are we alone? Because if there's so much out there, and billions and millions and trillions of galaxies and stars and everything like that, you would think it wouldn't be all that difficult to find another planet Earth. Just two galaxies over, maybe. And there's another planet that has really close to Earth-like similarities, like gravity and atmosphere and things like that. I don't know if that has to do with being an Americanteer. Just has to do with just life, and where we're at on this planet, which is a beautiful, fantastic thing. That's why I think of it like in awe, and we should all be grateful that we're on this planet and it's doing what it's doing and it's letting us survive here. Because it doesn't look like there's any neighboring planet, where besides Mars, that we're trying to, go there and set up a colony of sorts. But that's not Earth. That's not even close to being like having Earth-like qualities. So let's move forward. Move forward to the Americanteer movement, and everything we do, we've talked about all kinds of different things, and freedom is probably something I talk about from time to time, but probably not enough. Our freedom to speak up, be individuals, and not like extreme critical free thinkers of sorts, but just being an individual and with freedoms, just to be able to state your opinion. And so, so when I'm talking to other folks, just one-on-one, I'll tend to ask a bunch of questions, sometimes. And some of the people that I talk to already know this. I mean, they already figured this out about me. I'm kind of always, you know, trying to pick their brain a little bit because I express what I have to say too. But I also want to hear what other people are thinking or saying, So as an Americanteer, I mean, I need to, just kind of take in all kinds of different information and be very open-minded. So it's a very open-minded platform. So I was talking about first coming, maybe the digital dollar coming, and it may just really catch on and be a cashless society with this digital thing. I think personally, I think we're being stripped of our freedoms. Like it's taken more than it's given, in my mind. My common sense tells me that. I can't really prove that exactly what I'm talking about, but my common sense tells me that this thing is going to strip us of more freedom, and it's not going to give us the freedom that we think it's trying to put on the table and project it to itself to be. And now that that's kind of out of the way, this other individual, and I brought it up, and so the first thing that was on his mind was about the whole digital dollar thing, is that it was going to stop people from laundering money, like criminals. I guess he's talking about drug dealers or things like that, like people were doing some illegal acts, and and using businesses, to launder money through, and therefore and make it clean money or not paying taxes on it, whatever it may be, and that was just interesting. I mean, that was like the first thing he kind of came out of the gate with on that digital currency future, and I was just taking it all in, like wow, what, it's I really wasn't even thinking about that. I didn't realize that, that criminals were lying. I know they make a lot of money. They stash a lot of cash, and they have to clean it up, I guess, somehow to make it work in society. But I really wasn't associating them like the solution of digitalizing money just to affect people like that. I'm like, man, I don't know if that justifies giving up like we as the people give up our freedoms just so we can stop criminals? There's got to be a better way. Why don't the FBI and CIA and those dudes, get their act together and do their job? Go old school. Go dragnet. Go out there and ask questions. Make it happen. Instead of putting overall laws and or implementing things on all Americans because you want to affect one or maybe two things, whatever that may be. So there was other things I brought up to. I was like, well, I didn't expect that answer, but glad you said that. And then I brought up other issues with this, the current, like losing freedom kind of currency, making just Americans making a dollar bill. And maybe I'm just too old school, because I was just like, what about people that want to have a garage sale? What about someone who wants to, one individual wants to sell a car to another individual, and it's just a cheap car. It's like under $1,000, so $800 car, and and he gets paid cash. What's why won't we let that happen? That's a freedom of commerce. That's just what Americans do to survive. They don't. That's just what has to be done to make a dollar. But if it's going to be that, if the digital movement is going to be tracking everything in that certain way, which it may or may not, I can't say. But if it does in extreme ways, that means it's going to be monitored by someone, some entity. And so then they will impose the rules and regulations as to what's going on with that transaction, I guess. Which to me is like just being told what to do. Our freedoms are being stripped. We're being treated like puppets and dollar signs, and and it just doesn't matter. There's just they're gonna make things regulate things so hardcore that Americans just want to. It's just gonna make things more difficult, in my eyes. My mind tells me that. But there's other people that think it's going to make things a lot easier, of course. So that's kind of the flip side of what I'm talking about. So, and just to let you know, there are so many different sides to this story. And that's just two. There might be 2, 3, 4 other different sides that I haven't heard yet. So you got to remain open-minded, of course. And talk about what's going on and what people are saying and what we're doing and what may or may not happen. But as Americanteers, no matter what happens, we still got to unify. If we're going to make changes or have a voice in this issue I was even talking about, we got to come together as a family. And so we have a voice in what's going on. That's pretty straightforward. It's not gonna take a lot of effort and time, and it's not about marching down the street with signs either. It's just signing up and saying out loud that you are an Americanteer. That's the first step. Join together, and we can, solve and talk about more about what I just talked about. I'm sure it gets deeper, but not in a way that I feel like we should be talking about it as a problem. We're going to be talking about it as being proactive and to just look at things and as that what's going on, so that way we can start to resolve it and come up with a real active solution, a real common sense way of doing. Maybe we can do both. It's if no one's going to step up to the table with any other options, then how do we know there are going to be options? That's why we as Americanteers are equalizers. We kind of, will equal scale up a little bit more, so it's not so, we lose, why other entities and institutions win and win and win. You know what I'm talking about? You understand? And don't judge me either. I'm just a messenger, so don't come after me and pick on me. But I will talk about like my eyes haven't really improved all that much since the last time I spoke about it. But I am just wearing my eyeglasses in front of the video instead of my sunglasses lately, and I just feel like that's just a shift that I personally need to take because of the sunglasses. Um, I don't want people to make that an issue. It's like taking a little piece of the puzzle, pulling it out and saying, what's wrong with this? Why are you wearing sunglasses? And just kind of take away from the whole puzzle, the picture, the bigger picture, just to waste time on little pieces. And that's not good. You got to be working on the puzzle as a whole big puzzle, not pulling pieces out and having major conversations and wasting our time when we're still putting the big picture together. A lot to do. Lots of fun stuff to do. It's exciting. It's good stuff. I can't wait till you join in and we can start to rebuild America. Well, thank you. Thank you for your time. Have an excellent day. Do something wonderful for yourself. We'll talk later, okay? Peace. Love. Bye.